All right, I'm Kris. This is a 2022 10 HD. I'm originally from California. My home record is now Nevada, but I basically live on the road in my trailer. So I retired after 20 years in the Army, and this is my home on wheels. So basically I've modded it to make it how I need it to for my lifestyle. When I go boondocking, and I got a generator, got a 200 watt solar panel, I got a 200 amp hour lithium battery, got Victron everything in there, got a 500 watt Phoenix inverter, yeah. And then that allows me to get all my juice that I need for the road when I'm out and about.
Now we're right here in a fly patch, and I apologize for that, but I'm really excited to see the mods that somebody who lives in their trailer makes. I already see some very practical things.
Yeah, I put magnets on this right here, so I can mount it to either one of the fenders, and I mean, it's got some heft to it before it actually breaks off.
Now, what type of chair does someone who lives full-time in a Teardrop camper use?
It's all about the comfy chair, man.
You know, when you spend a lot of time out here, you go from the dollar store chair to like, no, maybe it is a big investment, worthwhile.
Buy something a little more expensive, but you're gonna need it.
So you got awnings and awnings and awnings.
Yep.
What is this one over here?
So they're all Ironman 4x4 awnings.
Perfect.
I got the two 8-foots on the side, and then the rear is the 6.5.
Now we call this one the Michael Potash. This is the 80-20 rear mount that you got a awning over your galley.
And I actually put quick releases on it, so when I'm driving down the road, when I pack up the site, the rear awning comes off and I store it inside the cabin, so I have less drag on the trailer.
So the Ironman quick releases,
yeah,
they're handy?
Comes right off. It's super handy.
Now this is one of the things that when you spend a lot of time, you know, I'm not talking 4 weekends a year, when you spend a lot of time, you really need quality chairs, tables, they take a beating. The King Camp is not inexpensive.
Nope.
But
I got it for Christmas.
Yeah, oh, perfect. What to give the full-timer that has everything. That's an amazing table. I've heard nothing but the best
It works, so it folds up so small and everything. And then I've modded the heck out of this the galley area here.
Oh, here we go.
So before I even started living in the trailer, I didn't even take it out once, and I ripped out the entire galley area. So I've got my booze shelf with my cooking stuff up there as well. And then I built a custom slide out for the Camp Chef oven and stove.
I'm very familiar with those sliders. I love that when people do this, they put the C-channel that lifts up both. It's much more convenient, it gives you a pull handle.
Yep.
You have the Camp Chef, so you have the oven
and this is the Pro version
cooktop.
too.
Oh.
So it auto controls the thermostat for the oven.
Very nice. I want to peek at how you did your gas connection here, because I'm very familiar with that mod.
Yep.
And your hose is tucked in. Nice job. Now it looks like you used some like reclaimed wood.
So this is it's not reclaimed. It's the paneling from Home Depot.
It's made to look reclaimed.
So it's it was this whole entire panel, and this was just scrap pieces that I used for that to make it kind of blend together. And then this is custom epoxy that I did myself for the countertop here to give it a little faux marble look.
Can you click that light on? Yeah. I think it's coming through, and then a booze shelf, right?
Yeah, the booze shelf.
A man of singular taste.
Well, so I bought those.
The bottles.
They're all labeled. Yeah, so each one is labeled. So like I got Malibu, is that Fireball, JMO, and tequila.
Okay, you know how to party. So I'm impressed. First of all, I gave you very little warning here. It's not like you came here to gussy up, but when you are spending $365, I mean, it's too expensive to eat out. You know, you're doing a lot of cooking here at camp, and that's why maybe that little range top wasn't enough. You're doing a lot of baking and stovetop cooking on this?
Definitely helps out a lot.
Now, every other full-timer I've talked to, or somebody that spends a lot of time, you also probably have like a hiker set to cook with, right? Like a portable camp stove or anything?
So I'm going to visit family here like next week, and I have a backpacking white gas stove, and it's in my storage unit. So I'm going to dig through it and find it, because I have on the side of the awning here, I made a tarp that I can attach to either side if the wind gets too
Yes.
strong. But even sometimes then, for one reason or another, I can't use the tarp,
Yep.
and it's too freaking windy, or the wind's just, and
This
even this
is
nothing
what
to
I
light.
was gonna. This is what I was talking about. Is usually most people find they also need like something to put out on the table somewhere. They move away from their
Right.
campsite, make a cup of coffee, or
Just boil some water for some ramen or something, you know?
exactly.
Just-
So this has been your primary cooking source on the road.
right. Yep.
This is the Camp Chef Pro. Very cool. Can you show us this Ironman room you have?
Yeah. So I got this.
Oh, pause.
Oh.
Can't go past an ice co without talking about it. Danfoss compressor, 44 quart.
And this is the 60 quart. This is
Oh,
the
for the freezer
the fridge
too.
and freezer, and I got them dual controls on there.
So this is running off your LifePo setup, 200 amp hour?
Yeah. So I plumbed in an outlet over here on the side, and so I just got a little extension cord. Basically, I just plumbed in an outlet right there.
Okay, SAE.
Yeah. And then I'd say that way I can plug this in wherever in the kitchen area.
So 200 watts of solar, 200 amp hour of LifePo, and this guy runs all the time.
Yeah, so I running this and the TV and lights from when the sun goes down till when the sun starts coming up and charging the battery again. I get down to like 80, 85%, and usually by like noon, 1 o'clock, I'm full charged again.
And that's the slowest charge part of your cycle.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you got down to 50%, it charges that much
Yeah,
faster.
it would charge even
Yeah.
faster because it's more power in the day.
Okay, so I stopped you because I almost stepped over a really nice refrigerator. But
I've
back-
also, if you I modded the fridge too. I had to put wheels on there because this thing weighs a ton. So I welded up
yours
I
didn't-
welded up a little bracket and put wheels on there and all that fun stuff, so I could just roll this sucker around and I'm getting it.
Now you are the only campsite here that is on concrete. I think this is the ADA
The
site.
only one.
But it's at least nice to roll your cooler around.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Yeah, and then so I did the little mod here that Sam mentioned for keeping the keeping tension up here. Normally I only put this out when it's windy or really rainy, but I happen to be drying my my bath towel right there, so just putting a little extra weight on there so it helps it keep it square.
So we've been branding some of our mods by where they came from, if we can. So when he says the Sam, we're talking Adventures of Memory Maker Sam. He's a friend. He's been on the channel. If you have these awnings, this is the failure point. And Sam talks about this on his channel. I should post that video. But giving this, I mean, what is this, a paint
Yes,
rod?
paint rod, yeah.
So little extra support in the rain, and then you pitch the roof, right?
Right,
Just-
and then also if it's like crazy windy, I'll actually tie one of my cables right here down to a stake in the ground
An
to actually give it
additional
the extra
guy
leverage
wire.
and all that fun stuff.
Nice. So
Yeah.
you have the ARB with the floor.
Yep. And then again, I also did the mod on the door.
Oh, okay. So this is also
Yeah,
a
also
sand mod.
another sand mod. Yeah.
So you're not shy around a sewing machine.
Nope.
So this is another one we've shown on the channel before, but to actually custom wrap and seal this to the side of your teardrop. This is an HD, so it's got 2 doors. It allows a little climate control. This room here can be heated or chilled slightly.
Just slightly.
This is really nice, and I'll tag people back to Sam's channel for this as well. But so you have some experience. You did this with a hot knife and a sewing machine.
Yep.
And what type of channel did you wrap the door with?
So the top was the regular stuff. The side is that 3M, little rain gutter type channeling stuff.
And it just allows you to tuck it in
Right.
and make a nice secure connection. Now you extend the bottom.
Yeah,
There's
with a piece of
usually
wood on the bottom there with
piece
the
of wood
pressure
or-
treated.
Yeah, pressure, something that's not gonna rot. But this one is beyond my skill level. I can't sew anything. But it's the finished product is really, really impressive. And for somebody who lives in their rig, this is more than a luxury. This is
And the dog ramp here is actually super awesome. It's just got a couple little hooks on here and shelving with carpet and zip ties.
White epoxy
Yeah,
shelving,
and
yard sale find.
Super cheap and easy to make, and it's more than hint.
And you cut a
Just a
U-bolt.
couple of U-bolts on there for that, and then a couple of I-bolts right there into the door, and that's what hooks it in place.
I love it.
Yeah. All right, so on the inside here, I've modded a little bit. I got this one's the like, I can't material that is, but it's magnetic
It's
and
like Reflex Tech, right?
Reflex Tech. There we go.
And it's got a little R value.
A little bit.
but mostly it's you're sleeping in curtains.
Because so basically a lot of campsites don't have space to put an awning on both sides.
Yes.
So if I'm not having an awning, the extra sun, and also that gives me a little more privacy with the blackout curtain on this side.
And we were dabbling, we started staying in some of these business parking lots like Cracker Barrel, Walmart and stuff, and they leave the lights on.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a complete blackout,
Oh yeah,
right?
it's
So
nice and dark in there. And then
nice.
for the other side, I just have a pillowcase that I poke 2 holes in and hang it up with a couple of command hooks.
So I love this for somebody, again, that's living out of the trail. This is not overly cluttered. This is a bed. Now the TV, sometimes I pick on the large screen TVs. If I was living in my trailer, I absolutely,
Yeah.
I'm using a laptop or something.
Yeah, so I have a laptop also, but to like play games on stuff. I like to watch my shows.
I see you added some DC connections, and you're running you have that Phoenix inverter that's running through your trailer, so you have some AC capability as well.
Right, and then that shelf over there, I had to reinforce the bottom because it's not very well made.
Right.
And so that's my pantry for all my dry storage.
Now you're doing some cold weather camping. I see you did the essential digital thermostat upgrade.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
night and day
Oh,
different.
so much nicer.
Very, very nice. Now, as far as a full-timer on the road, you have some special electrical requirements that the average weekend camper does not. So
Definitely.
you want to take us through the electrical system?
So basically, the whole entire battery system, I wanted something that was going to be strong, have a whole boatload of power, and it was just a set it and forget it type of situation. Just because this milk crate right here, it doesn't ever come off. It's strapped down in place, and
I
have no
milk
reason
crate with that same mesh on mine for like 10,000 miles.
No reason to take it off because
you can't beat the price.
I wired everything in there good, and it's solid. And then I also put an outlet right there for my inverter on the side, so I can easily plug in outside to like my laptop or something.
This looks like a Carlon box, just a normal outdoor duty box. But you have redundancy. So you have solar charging off the roof. It looks like it's tiltable to some degree.
Yeah, it tilts forward and back.
All right,
Yeah.
and then you have a large capacity battery that I want to take a peek at in a second, and then an inverter generator. I'm impressed that you've been able to ride this on the road and not roach this. I assume you've been through some rain.
I've gone through rain, and it's still solid for now. I mean, we'll see how long it lasts, but it seems to be doing all right.
We're not recommending that.
Probably not the best idea,
but
maybe a bag or something
it's
around
a good
it.
testament that this champion inverter generator has been through a couple dozen rainstorms.
Definitely a few of them,
some with driving rain. So I'm sorry to inconvenience you, but I know the viewers are going to want to see what's inside the diamond plate box.
Oh, and then also, so the generator, so the adapter that comes with the generator is this thing to run it off propane, but this sucker is not long enough to reach to the generator when it's on the ground.
Okay.
So what I had to do is I bought a regular Y valve from Tractor Supply, and then, of course did that, and then got a high pressure hose and put another one of these on there. And so now it's just bungee corded right there, and I can easily just put the generator on the ground anywhere in this general area.
So,
and I don't have to move my propane tank.
And to help people out, that what I'm seeing is that, so you got tank pressure, you went through your Y valve, you have regulation here, and this goes back to the back end of the trail, regulates the furnace and the stove, the camp stove. But now this one is hot tank pressure,
Still
no
high
regulator.
pressure,
So you're picking up your regulation with
from
the one that came with the
generator.
Champion. So very, very smart. You can't run two regulators.
You're
That's
gonna have a bad
kill
day.
you. So very cool system, and everything's outdoors. It's not like you're running high pressure through the cabin.
Right, exactly.
I like the experience here, and I like the direction you're going. So I keep pointing at the box. Let's see the goods.
Let me get around to pulling it. All right, so here's my whole battery electronics setup in here. Got the 200 amp hour lithium, got a Victron shunt over on the side there, and then everything comes over into this power distribution block.
Sure.
And then I got the solar controller, so my solar comes down, goes into here. And then I got the inverter, which goes again into the my outlet right here.
So folks, this is top of the line. So you have a very well-made battery, but it's absent a lot of the BMS controls for low temperature and stuff, but you're picking that up. You have the Victron Smart Shunt, you have a Victron Blue Smart MPPT, You have the Phoenix inverter, and I can't see this. I'm assuming it's Blue Sea.
No, it's just some random,
Okay.
random thing. But I mean, it's solid. I wanted something that was, you know, looked, it was pretty beefy on the metals that were going through it.
So you have no connection to your tow vehicle as far as charge.
Correct.
You have really top of the line solar charging, a very low consumption inverter. There's like no standby consumption.
So I use it. Right now, it's the switch is labeled for. I think it's on. Right now, the switch is in eco mode, but since I have the app, I actually have it just turned off. So I can turn it on or off in the app, so it's not even using the standby voltage to begin with.
The Victron Connect app I use it as well. It's the best in the business. The way that everything that's blue and blinky links together is really nice. And now you've picked up protection from the charging implements. So you have cold temperature thermostats.
Right. So I got the temperature sensor that goes over to the shunt.
So the shunt will turn this charge off, so you don't have to worry about lithium plating or anything like that, and then you don't have to buy an SOK or a Battleborn for 5 times the price of this. So.
And then as far as mounting the battery, because this is just a aluminum box, you can't see it from the top, but under the bottom, I welded a piece of angle iron to the frame of the trailer and then bolted. That's what the ratchet strap is bolted to.
And this is a Victron ratchet strap.
So I got it bolted in there, and then it doesn't move at all. It's solid.
All right, so before I bore the people that don't know stuff about this, I mean, for me, this is eye candy. I love this stuff. But essentially, with one small solar panel, you live full-time off-grid with AC and DC capabilities, and the typical low end of your SOC or state of charge is what?
85%.
Which
in the winter time, when I was using the heater, and it was also the sun was going down earlier, so I was putting the lights on sooner. I think I got to like 75 maybe, but that was an exception.
And you were potentially even limiting your charge times if your shunt was turning off the charge.
Right, it's possible.
If you were below 30. So, and you're still not even getting to a depth of 50%.
Right, and I mean with this, with the lithium, I can go down to basically 0. I got it set to stop at
10% probably.
I think I set it like 3, but
oh, okay, well. Living full time, you are finding a place to shower. You're going to truck stops.
Yep.
You're originally from the West Coast. Right now we're on the East Coast.
Yep.
So you're putting some miles in. Any problems? Anything?
I mean, I've done all the mods that everybody else has mentioned as far as sealing it up for weather and whatnot. And even before some of those people mentioned those, I was I had the trailer in my garage and I was crawling around. I'm like, that's not supposed to be there. So get some spray sealant or some caulking in there, and just fix it right up.
Keep the water outside.
Yeah.
And I noticed one more. It looks like you put a new set of shoes on your Bushwhacker.
Yeah. So now the spare tire is the same size as the other 2 tires.
Okay. So you matched your spare, and no need if you're on the road for giant knobs.
Right. And but this one also, these ones, they lowered it a little bit, so it fits in garages easier with all the extra crap on top.
Okay.
And also their trailer tires are designed for this, so they get slightly better efficiency. They roll better.
You just got to keep them down under 65, right?
Yeah, so it says they're ST rated, it's supposed to be 65, but I usually travel around 63 anyway.
Nice.
So it works out pretty good.
Very good. Well, it was really nice meeting you. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And I hope to cross paths with you on the road again sometime.
Yep.